anchor on in the high-rise houses of Constance, Louisiana, as night comes into full swing. The camera sits far in the distance, watching the faint red light of the sun recede from the sea, and the yellow glow of the living night takes over. We hear the slow hum of lightly trafficked motorways and the shuffling grind of streetcars make their way about town. The camera clips through several scenes of everyday life, people having dinner together in dim, elegant restaurants, older students attending night school at the local college, and children being brought up from the beach after a long day of play. We see the park rangers pulling their canoes up to the swampy docks in the Great Tupelo State Natural Preserve, while old ridgeback gators yawn in the mossy water behind them. As the camera pans through the dirty yet well-painted streets, we see flyers pinned to the walls, telephone poles, and mailboxes, all advertising the new film, American Boogeyman. With a sputtering of the reel, the latest horror flick at the Spectra Cinemas comes to a close. A 16-year-old Jude Keaton adjusts his glasses and exits the otherwise empty theater. Early fall leaves blow by as the lamplights of Constance flicker to life. We see Jude walk briskly down the quiet streets, looking over his shoulder as a cellar door creaks open nearby. Jude watches several cars pass by in complete stillness, only walking again when he is completely alone. A mailbox falls open as he passes, and Jude jolts to the side, falling away from the mailbox. He steadies himself with a deep breath and pulls out his phone. We see the speed dial for Doctor blink a few times before reaching a dial tone. He starts walking again, faster this time. He tries the phone again. It rings. Hello? The phone inexplicably shuts down. He breaks into a dead sprint, passing streetlight after streetlight. Jude doesn't notice a lone car come to life in an empty parking lot nearby. He passes house after house but doesn't call for help. Instead, he runs to the cold light of a rundown gas station beneath a green neon sign. He puts his back to an old vending machine and looks behind him. All is quiet save for a lone car slowly coming up the road. We see Jude desperately trying his phone again. In an instant, the vending machine door opens and Jude is pulled inside with a quick, muffled scream. The car door swings open as a darkened figure emerges, sprinting to get there in time. As the figure closes in, we see Jude's hand reaching out before the door closes, and all the lights go out. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Neighbors, an actual play podcast where we throw down on Monster of the Week, a Powered by the Apocalypse game written by the spectacular Mike Sands. I'm your host, Leland Teed, and I will be the keeper for all our games here unless we decide to get a little weird. Hi, welcome to the game. I'd like to introduce everyone around the table. Matt, if you wouldn't mind describing yourself, a little bit about your character, anything, and let's get started.
Hi, I'm Matt Myjak. I'm a blue-collar worker who likes tabletop games.
Sounds good. Let's see, Soren, hit us up.
Hello, I'm Soren. I am a recent graduate of a theater school. I'm a writer. I will be playing Cascius Montgomery in this game. He's the...
Oh, right, yeah, Matt, at some point we need to say who your character's name is.
No, Matt's a complete mystery. Cascius Montgomery is the sort of quick-talking, on-the-road grifter. And I'm excited to see what is in store.
Real quick, Matt, who are you playing?
I'm playing Flint O'Hare, the hunter expert?
Quote unquote.
Definitely air quotes in the idea of him being an expert in anything.
Hell yeah. All right. Sarah, if you wanted to go up next.
Sure, I'm Sarah. I'm non-binary. My pronouns are they, them, as is my character, June. They are a bartender for a very interesting establishment, and they're going to do what they can to get more and more influence over the world and their situation.
Cool. All right, and Anna, finish us off. We'll get started.
Hi, my name is Anna Collins. I play Beck the Initiate, a member of a monster hunting sect called the Bulwark.
Cool. Well, if everyone's ready, then let's begin. We open on a bright, early morning, with people gathering at the Constance Community Center. An old mansion refitted into a public service building, the CCC hides its cracked, squeaky boards with a fresh coat of paint. There was a hustle and bustle about the place as people go from stall to stall for today's flea market. We see phonographs and typewriters change hands, people paying in silver dollars, and sellers hawking any antique they can get their hands on. The camera bobs and weaves through the throngs of people largely overdressed for a flea market, and it closes in on one rather interesting man. Cascius, please describe yourself real quick.
Cascius is a washed-up, frumpled suit, sort of after sort of 5 o'clock shadow on his cheeks. Clearly, sort of been sleeping out of his car for a while, but generally with eyes that are sort of constantly darting around, looking for opportunities.
All right, and Cascius, are you buying or selling today?
Oh, I'm selling.
Oh, really? What's the most valuable thing you have at your stall? And what does your stall look like?
Well, my stall is it was a fold-out table that one of the other stalls just happened to leave. And there's a paper sign that's taped to the front that says rare celebrity heirlooms.
All right. As you are sitting around, people come by and they stop and they say, "Oh, where did you get this? And what do you have there?" But I think you're good enough at your job at this point to know when people are not easily tricked or like looking for something wrong, and you know enough to avoid them. It isn't until a rather elderly couple comes strolling by. They are in the same way that almost everyone here is maybe too well dressed for the situation. A lot of people here in Constance dress unnecessarily well, even if their financial situation maybe doesn't demand it or evoke it.
Perfect.
Exactly. And these two, as they come up to you, they seem very loving and happy to be around each other, and are clearly on some sort of vacation, or home vacation, as they are going about and checking out people's things and asking people about the history of their objects and why they're worthwhile. What is the strong sell and the item that you present to them?
So it's the table itself is actually empty. There's only one small like jewelry box in the center that just has a single toothpick on it.
A toothpick?
Yes.
All right. The elderly couple comes over, and the woman says, "Hello there. What do we have here?"
I'm not sure you can. This might not be for you, but I mean, if you are you interested? No, please. I'm joking. I'm joking. Please.
Okay. You're very quick.
Yeah, that's me. Hello. This is actually a rare piece. It's the only item that I've brought here today, for a reason. It's high demand. This toothpick is actually the last toothpick that was in Elvis's sandwich. When how he ate the sandwich and then died. He was eating a club sandwich.
Oh goodness!
And this was the toothpick that was in it.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. This is a high.
I thought
commodity.
it was like a pills thing.
That's what a lot of people thought. Well, it wasn't the sandwich that did him in. I'm not going to sell you a murderous toothpick. If
that seems good. I probably wasn't going to buy that.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. I spilled something on I dropped the fork out of my pocket. But
that's okay. That's totally normal.
Yeah. So this toothpick, it's one of a kind. It's actually only been used by Mr. Presley himself. So we've got a lot of collectors looking after it. But I've had it on this table for a while, and I've never seen someone who seems to have quite an eye for history as you two, you lovely looking, beautiful married couple. Are you married? Are you happy? Are you?
We've been married for 70 years.
Oh, you love to see that. You love 70 years. That's
They
great.
move very slowly and indicate that is true.
That's fantastic. 70 years. That takes commitment, and that's the sort of commitment I'm looking for in the buyer of this type of valuable item. So if you would be interested, I suppose I could part with it for two lovely people such as yourselves.
What are you looking for? How much would it cost?
Money. Money. This item.
This kind of jokester. She gives you a light slap on the shoulder. This jokester here. Look.
I'm really just looking for a good home for this. I've had it for a while. I'm on the road a lot, as you know. As you know, I travel the road doing these flea markets, and so this has been burning a hole in my pocket. I'll give it to you guys for say $50.
Manipulated person.
And how many dice do I roll for this?
You roll 2d6.
All right. And
you would add, in this case, unless you have any move that would say otherwise, you add your charm.
7.
7. All right. On a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show you mean it. If you've asked too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it. So you have to do something, not say something. You can say things, but do something right now to show that you mean it.
I'm going to pick up the fork that fell out of my pocket, and I'm going to say, the actual reason that I have this fork is that, I sell antiques, but I only sell culinary-themed antiques. That's why I'm selling the toothpick that was in the sandwich. Now, this fork was used by Mr. JFK right before he died. I sell a lot of pre-death memorabilia. And you know what?
Oh, goodness.
If you take the toothpick...
Macabre.
Everyone has an aesthetic. So if you take the toothpick, I'll give you the Kennedy fork as well.
The Kennedy fork. I love it. Okay. And she says, really? Kennedy's fork? And her partner says, we know how much you love things that are presidential, I guess. And
this is history. This is real history right here. History in the silver.
There is a small suspicion in the eye of the partner, but the older woman says, you know what? It's been a while since we took a risk. Let's do it. And she gives you $50 for a fork and a toothpick.
Thank you very much. Now, since that was my only item for sale today, I'm going to take the paper sign off the front and write closed on the other side and then retape it on the front. Thank you so much for your business.
Absolutely. Well, then you have an excellent day, young man.
You too. And I'm going to wait for them to turn around, and as soon as they turn around, I am booking it out the front door. I'm grabbing my little suitcase and I'm rushing for my car.
Absolutely. As you get in your car, you start thumbing through your pockets rapidly, and you notice that your keys are gone.
Do I know where they might have gone? Is there a time I can recollect that I was the pickpocket?
This isn't exactly a move. I think there were a couple points where you were regularly walking through the place, and there is definitely a central zone in which there's no stalls, but people have to get through it in a kind of congested spot, because it's not actually a community center. It's a house that they've retrofitted into a community center. So I think
would it count as investigate a mystery or something, perhaps?
Just going based off your memory, no. But if you are willing to go back in there and check it out,
yeah,
then absolutely.
I need those keys.
Hell yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm going back in, and I rolled a 5.
A 5. Well, all right. Starting off strong. Go ahead and mark experience. For those of you who don't know, Monster of the Week has a wonderful mechanic where you fail forward. If you mess up a roll, get too low, and your bonuses don't account for it, you mark experience. And marking experience is the thing that gives you new moves and helps you advance as a character. It's very fun. Bad news. On Investigative Mystery on 0 to 6, you don't get any answers you're looking for, and I can take a hard move against you. Uh, uh, Off in the distance, you can see that there are a couple of people talking, and this elderly couple is chatting with another group of people, and you can see that they are actively telling them like, no, this is nothing. You've just got grifted, and there you are still in the building.
Got you. Well, I'm going to leave and hopefully come back and find my keys another time.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm going to just walk very briskly towards the nearest public transit and disappear into the city.
Brilliant. Okay, you absolutely get on a trolley and hop off. You are aware that at some point someone will probably talk to someone about you having just cheated people out of $50. What do you do next?
I will try to find a diner.
Okay. You sit in at a local diner where people are exchanging coffee. Everything seems pretty lulled out. Most likely people will come here later in the day. It's early morning, so some people are filtering out from having their coffee. And as you are sitting there, you can see on the like diner corkboard that someone has posted that they are looking for their missing child. And some people kind of are chit-chatting about it, and that there's like a little posted reward. They note that the police haven't done anything yet because it hasn't been within a certain time frame, like a certain amount of time hasn't passed.
Gotcha. How much is the reward?
It's sitting right now for tips being at $50, and an actual finding. They haven't expressed an actual number. They just said that they'll do a lot for you.
Will be reimbursed.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Huh. I'm gonna try to listen in and see what these other people are saying about it.
All right, this seems like another investigative mystery.
3.
This is not going well for you.
It rarely does.
Okay. As you are sitting there, I hate to do this to you, but you watch on the TV as your face comes up on like a security camera as have you seen this man? It was like almost immediate, which means that the elderly folks filed something, and they at the CCC, they have security cameras that were effective enough that they caught your visage. Not perfectly,
Wow.
so someone wouldn't be able to recognize you on the street, but hot damn, that was fast.
Wow, they are quick here. They move. This news agency is expeditious.
What do you do?
I'm just gonna pull my hat down low over my head and try to pull out a newspaper from inside my suit and do the classic sort of cartoon disguise of, oh no, I'm just a businessman reading the newspaper.
All right. As this is happening, I think you will note that people are like might mention you, be like, "Is that? Nah, come on," and they like keep trying to chat with you. Like people who work there are like, "Hey, how you doing?" To see if like you are a problem in the store or the restaurant.
Oh, how am I? I'm good. I just got here. I'm new to town. I saw there's a missing child person. What happened?
Yeah, it's a teenager. His name's Jude Keaton.
Jude Keaton. What happened?
We on a failure, you don't get any good information. So
I'm asking if they're talking to me to see if I'm a problem. I'm just like asking about it and being like,
yeah, I'm telling you, out of game, they're not going to help you, and in game they say, oh no, no one knows. Just kids being stupid these days, getting themselves in all kinds of trouble.
oh yeah.
So how long you been in town?
Oh no, I'm just a few days. I'm, looking for work, seeing what's around.
All right. How long do you stay there?
I'm just gonna get coffee and eat lunch and mind my own.
Okay. While you are there, I think you begin to notice as you were like kind of looking over your shoulder that there's like a lot of like commotion in the kitchen that people aren't really paying attention to. When you like step away to go to the bathroom while you're having your lunch, and you notice that some of your meal is gone. Like if you had like a burger and fries, there aren't any fries anymore. Things like that.
I'm so tempted to investigate a mystery, but that has been not great
Historically not good for you.
in the past. So let's try to read a bad situation and see if that goes any better.
Yeah, it's the same stat, but yeah.
Or you know what? I'm just gonna oops. Yeah, I would like to use the oops move instead.
Oh,
of
okay. Can you please read for me what that move does?
If you want to stumble across something important, tell the keeper. You will find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to your immediate problems.
Okay. What the hell? It seems like such a powerful move.
I know.
I get to do the next thing. I love it. All right. As you are sitting there, and maybe if you go up to the bar to like make a simple reorder, it looks like someone has like left a book sitting at the table, and for as long as you've been sitting there, no one has been attending to it. So it doesn't seem like it's like if the person left it here, it's just been here. And the book itself is one of the horror novels written by Dr. Emmett Garcia Chalamet, who is a writer who actually lives in town. They live in like a big mansion outside of town, sort of, and kind of keep to themselves.
Gotcha.
And it has, dog, like someone's been reading it.
Can I just like toss my newspaper over the book when I go up to the bar? And then when I'm done ordering, I just want to take the newspaper and like slide it off the bar with the book under it so that it just doesn't look like I snatched the book out.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. You take the book, and where do you go next?
Oh, I guess I'm just going to ride the streetcars for a while.
All right. You hop on your streetcar, and you attempt to evade any sort of public notice for a little while. And I think with that, we're going to, the streetcar passes through different points in town, ultimately passing through McGann Harbor. We see white foam crashes upon gray wood, and stubborn seagulls scream for dropped food. A number of people pass by a wide, open intersection of the docks, their heads down, whispering things like, just keep walking. We see dock workers that are keeping their heads up, maybe saying, get out of here, and things like that, but otherwise really paying no mind. The camera pans over to a young Constance police officer, the badge declaring themselves Dr. Officer Ripley Dodds. They hold open a notepad at their side and no weaponry, and they look tired as hell. And they say, Flint, you can't keep doing this. You're making people uncomfortable. And Flint, I would like you to describe yourselves real quick.
So Flint is a tall, slender man, looking slightly elderly. He could be anywhere between his 40s and his 60s, but living a rough life has made it a bit ambiguous just how old he actually is. He has gray hair with just a little bit of blonde still left in it. Same with his beard, wearing jeans and a red flannel shirt. He has a trucker hat with a bottle opener on it.
Nice. I love it. And when Ripley says this, what do you say? Now, Ripley is probably been around a couple of times to like check in on you. I wouldn't necessarily say they are a good cop, because all cops are bastards, but they are a nice cop, and they probably stop by and like buy you lunch from time to time and check in to see how you're doing.
Here's the thing, Ripley. Here's the thing, officer. I'm sorry. You see, I'm not making people uncomfortable. I'm just adding to the story of the town. The town we have a horror author as our one of our main tourist attractions, and I'm just trying to tell people how weird this town actually is. It's good for business, not bad for business.
I just don't think so, Flint. I mean, like, sure, monsters is cool, and I get it's like kind of the in thing now these days, but like, just saying, no, I'm saying like don't do that.
No, you just agreed with me, so I don't see what the problem here is.
Flint, we're not. If you got like ideas, take it to the tourism board. Don't like just shout weird shit out on the docks. It's like, I don't know, public disturbance or something.
Listen, what I'm saying makes sense, though. Bruce Springsteen is still somehow attractive despite being really old. Still gets all the ladies coming to his concerts and stuff. You know what else is timeless and gets people following them? Incubus. You know what an incubus is? A devil. Bruce Springsteen's from Jersey. Bruce Springsteen's the Jersey Devil.
That is the wildest connection of dots I have ever heard.
It makes complete sense.
Flint, all I'm asking is that if you're trying to like do this, talk with like the people who are actually trying. Like talk to like the weird like ghost society or whatever. Talk to like, I don't know, some magazine or something. Don't shout at people down at the docks.
Well, here's my question. Why is it okay for the weird ghost society to walk around, waving signs, check out our ghost tours and stuff? But when I sit on the dock and go, hey, check out how creepy the world is and Bruce Springsteen's the Jersey Devil, why is that illegal?
It's not that it's illegal, it's just weird.
Then I can just continue doing it if it's not illegal.
Flint, I feel like if your goal here is just to get Officer Ripley to like leave you alone while you do your weird business, this seems like a manipulative person. Unless that is not what you're trying to do. And then otherwise might be something else.
Manipulate a person still works because I'm just trying to get them to agree with me.
All right, go ahead.
Or get them to agree with me or leave me alone, whichever they decide. It still works in my favor. And that's manipulate good. A person, that's 2d6 plus my charm, which is terrible. That is going to be a 2.
We're starting off really strong, guys. Go ahead and mark experience. On a failure, I could take a hard move against you. And I think what happens is that Ripley's partner, Ken, threatens that if you don't cease and desist, they will ticket you for a public disturbance. They're not going to jail you or something, but they will,
I get a little bit louder. I see how it is. If the ghost hunting society does this, it's completely fine. But because I am a bit of a drifter, I can't do this. I'm not allowed to eat, I'm not allowed to sleep, and I'm not allowed to be in public because your town is embarrassed that somebody who does not live in a house is speaking with your citizens.
No.
Is that what you're telling me, officer?
No, we are saying that a business can operate business functions because they go through legal channels. Shouting at people that the Wolfman is in town trying to eat them or whatever isn't a business. It's not sanctioned by anybody. You're just doing it and making people uncomfortable.
My existence makes people uncomfortable. That is what you're telling me, and I'm trying to get as loud as possible and make this a spectacle. I want to embarrass these cops.
Okay, I think this isn't quite manipulative person. I think this is you were trying to like build like a weird sort of like rally of strangers to be like, hey, leave him alone.
Yes. I'm just trying to make the cops uncomfortable.
Go ahead and give me. Let's call this an action of pressure instead. You are under threat of being ticketed, and you need to get rid of these people now with the help of others, not necessarily like by convincing anybody.
All right, that's 2d6 plus my cool, which is a little bit better, and that is a 4.
What the hell? All of you soak your dice in salt water. See if they're real. I don't know. All right. Yeah. Things go to hell when you fail and act under pressure. The crowd that you're trying to summon to embarrasses them starts like shouting at you to like get out of their zone. You've annoyed them enough. Everyone's trying to work, and you are being a bother. And Officer Ken gives you a ticket for, I don't know, $20, which for you was a lot.
Yep.
And really anybody who just didn't need the inconvenience. And they say that if you don't stop doing this here, you are going to keep paying money for it. And they bounce. But Ripley seems like real upset that they quote unquote had to do that.
I grab my fishing pole, I take the ticket and put it in my pocket, and I leave.
All right. As you are, where are you going?
Do I know of any bars or anything that might let me wash dishes for a quick couple bucks? Any places that like have given me meals in the past?
There is a place in town called the Engine Room, which is a weird sort of place. It's like a kind of a divey motorcycle lounge connected to like a hobbyist shop where they have been chiller about you kind of hanging out in the past and let you clean stuff if that is your best bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna head there and see if I can make. You said the ticket's $20.
Yep.
See if I can make $20 for 2 hours of washing dishes.
Cool. As you are kind of walking there, you note that there on a couple of telephone poles there have been little signs posting, "Have you seen me?" And it's a poster of like a high school student under the scene. It says their name is Jude Keaton, and that they are there's like a phone number attached and what have you, and that you see like a late 40s, early 50s mother hanging around, like putting these posters up by Staples. And when they see you, they approach you, and they say, "Hi, Mr. Flint. How you doing? How you holding up?" You wouldn't say you recognize that person, but yeah. But I think a lot of people know you as the wacky man in town.
Yeah. Bit of a local cryptid.
They say, "Hi, how you holding up?"
I'm all right. What's going on here?
Jude didn't come home last night, and he was being like, kind of weird over the past couple of days. So he went out to go see a movie. He was hanging out all by himself, and then he called me like real brief. I got to say hello, and then he hung up, and then you haven't seen him. And I was wondering if maybe, you kind of got your ear to the ground. You kind of been hanging out.
Yeah.
She's like dancing around using the word homeless.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
Have you heard anything? She seems like real desperate.
I haven't, but could I get one of those posters? And I'm going to be washing dishes at a few places, and I'll ask around for you.
Okay, sure. If you find anything, I if you got any tips or something, I'll give you money, whatever you need. I got to know if my boy's okay. She kind of like shakes her like ruffled red hair and she looks, distraught. She's not well kept or anything. And it's only been maybe a day, but it's clear enough that it's enough to freak her out to a pretty dramatic extent.
I'll keep my ear to the ground. Don't worry about rewards or anything. I will check the self-storage area. I know a few people like me sleep there from time to time. I'll check under the local bridges.
Okay. Do you got like a phone or something you could contact me with or something?
I don't own a phone, but there's a few places where I'm allowed to use phones. And there's a number on this poster, right?
Yeah, she gives you like a couple dollars that you could turn into change and says, if you can just get to a paying phone and say something, that'd be real nice.
Keep the money. There's a few people who will just let me use a phone that I can get to easily enough.
Okay. Thanks, Flint.
No problem. I'll keep my ears open.
And she trails off, and starts going about town, continuing to put posters up.
So my goal is now no longer to. Well, I'm still gonna figure out how to pay the ticket before the day is over, but I am now no longer heading to that bar, but rather heading to places where I'd see night owls. People who are up late, people who frequent the movie theater, and people of less repute.
Okay. You could go to any number of places. If you went to the Arcana shop, there are people that do a bunch of weird stuff at night, like meditations and what have you. You could go to any bar and see if anyone's checked in. You could go to the movie theater if you wanted to as well.
Actually, kill two birds with one stone. Could I go to the bar that I was going to work at? Does that have a lot of night owls in it?
It sort of, but they're kind of on the the rougher side and what have you. It's still early in the morning though, so
Yeah,
I will tell you.
In that case, I'm gonna go check out the movie theater itself.
Okay. You find your way over to the Spectra Cinemas, which has an out of place neon aesthetic. They try to maybe rebrand a little bit with something a little bit stranger, and it just didn't take. It is not a popular movie theater at all. So they try to show a bunch of niche and weird movies, and it's not great. But they are showing viewings of The American Boogeyman, and they are currently open. But it's early day, and very few people see movies during the early part of the day.
I'm going to try to make myself look as clean as possible real quick. Sure. And head over to the front desk of the movie theater.
Sure. The clerk is a kind of a high schooler just kind of doing their job. They aren't terribly interested in it, but they'll put on a customer service face and be nice to you while you're there.
Hey, kid, do you have a manager or anything, or anyone who was working here last night?
Yeah, no, I had the shift last night. Why?
I hold up the poster. Well, this young man was apparently at a movie last night and didn't return home. I'm wondering if you saw anything. A friend of mine is looking for her son.
Investigate mystery.
All right, this I'm good at.
Yeah.
I'm okay at it. It's 8.
On a 7 to 9, hold 1. One hold can be spent to ask the keeper one of the following questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? And what is being concealed here? You may ask 1.
What happened here?
Feel free to ask that however you want.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if you saw where the kid was going, why they were looking so scared, if they were looking at anyone in specific that was maybe following them from the theater or anything like that. A weird dog that might have been looking at them. I don't know. Anything that could help me figure out where the young one is.
I don't think anything like that. They were the only person in the theater for a while, which wasn't amazing. Business has been a little rough, but they did seem a little nervous when they were buying a ticket and stuff. They were just trying to find something to do. I tried to chat with them just because there's no one here and I was bored all day, but they didn't really say much. They just said that just trying to find a place to hang out, trying to find a haunt or something. And they went to see the Boogeyman. They came out when it was over, but they left in a rush. I don't know. Sorry, man. And I can tell you what happened here is that Jude had been followed and was aware of it and was trying to get into a vaguely public place that wouldn't endanger a lot of people.
Do you know what direction they went when they left?
I do not. By that point, I was just mopping things. But you can check inside if you're really looking for him. Are you a private eye or something?
No, just a friend of the family.
All right. Yeah, it's you can check down like Theater 2 if you want. But other than that, I don't really have a lot for you.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to head directly towards Theater 2 then.
Alrighty. They don't take great care of this place. It's a little dusty and it's got like gum on the floors and everything. And as you are like walking through it, the movies are flipping on irregardless of whether or not people are here or not. They'll just play them to play them. And as you are entering Theater 2, the movie that supposedly June had gone to see is in action. It's American Boogeyman. And it's, like a lot of jump scary horror crap. What do you do?
Looking around the seats for any signs of which seat June sat in, but at the same time, I am looking at the film itself to see if there's any sort of jump scary monsters that I would recognize and give credit to, maybe the person who made the film knows too much. Maybe there's something in the movie itself.
Okay. Go ahead and I think this is another investigative mystery.
Much better. That's an 11.
All right, hold 2. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? And what is being concealed here? And I will, of course, answer within the framework of the method in which you are investigating. So I may not have all the information necessary, but I'll have something.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? As you are watching parts of the scary movie, the occasional jump from the horns or the music that is often used in jump scare horror films does get you every now and again. And as you are doing so, your eyes naturally dart around the room for something suspicious. And you notice that there are scratch marks on the floor. You notice that in some of the chairs, there is little punctures, like tiny little claws have poked through on the cloth. You can see that in row 3, they have started to move from chair to chair in a straight line. They entered in a sort of erratic rate. Where did it go? What are you asking? Are you asking for creature? Are you asking for Jude?
I'm asking for where Jude ran away from it. What direction did Jude go?
Jude burst out of an emergency exit. You can see that the claw marks had gone across all the way to the side to where the red glowing lights of the exit sign show. You can see that there is no wear marks. This isn't like a thing that people regularly exit out of anyways, but there's also no fire alarm attachment. Or if there was, it just didn't go off. You can see that he left in a hurry. You can see that there is soda dropped along the side that is now stuck to the ground that no one's cleaned. That's your nice hole.
From the claws and such, what kind of monster is it? Am I looking at something that's tall? Am I looking at something that's short? Does it exist all the time? Does it fade in and out?
What sort of creature is it? Well, it has 2 clear forelegs that have larger claws and scrapes, and 2 smaller hind legs, but have deep incisions. You can tell that this creature is small, maybe about the size of a little bit larger than the average toddler or 5-year-olds. You can see that it has rather extensive movement, that when it moves from place to place, it has a little bit of a leap to it. What sort of creature is it? This is probably some kind of minion. What sort of creature is it? It is some kind of reptilian with great jumping power. I think by knowing that it's a minion, it'll tell you that it's doing the job of somebody else. What do you do?
I go out that fire exit. I follow any leftover trail that I can find to see where the kid went the night before.
You lurch for the fire exit, and just as you do so, the doors slam, as if it wasn't locked red before, and now it is, like there was a deadbolt on the other side, and you crash into the side of it and hit the ground, and just as you do so, the exit sign sparks and catches fire. And it's cut away. camera cuts away, back over to the CCC. A trolley goes by as an elderly couple goes from place to place, as all the elderly go from place to place. A stand selling cotton candy is nearby. The camera closes in on lampposts flickering slightly, one by one, before steadily returning to good health. The camera follows a trail of herding streetlights until they close in on a man. He is tall, thin, and spectacularly dressed in a gray three-piece suit. He blinks gray eyes through circular lenses. He holds a stick of cotton candy, but never takes a bite. Gravity is a funny thing, he says. And on the dot as he says this, a sewer grate has collapsed inward, fallen into the sewer below. There is a noticeable thud, but everyone around it shrugs and seems to assume that someone else will take care of it. He checks his pocket watch, clicking it several times. Are your eyes open? And June, please describe yourself.
June is pretty fashionably dressed. I think they have on a double-breasted dark blue trench coat, practical heels, dark green nail polish, and an undercut.
Okay. And when this person says, "Are your eyes open?" what do you say?
What?
Sleeping again? I said, "Are your eyes open?"
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. They're open. Uh-huh.
June, what is something you have trouble with when picking up on the weird?
I think June is maybe a little paranoid and sees it where it isn't really there.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes when they do see it, they're questioning if it's real or not.
Alrighty. And as you are walking by, and a person is like carrying some stuff in for the flea market that's going on, James points it out, and he says, he points to like a small vase with a weird sort of inscription on it. He says, "What era do you think that's from? What was it used for?" And you are free to describe that as you will. What would you think?
That to me looks like a 1800 AD Roman chamber pot.
Well, your years are a little off, I think, but you're not too far off. Remember that we're knowing the history and the purpose of the thing is going to be invaluable in this sort of life. Take a look. Try to guess what it's really for. Give me a best guess. And you don't have to like sit there and observe from afar. You're welcome to like go up and check if you want to.
No, I'm not gonna walk up to it. Well, if it's Roman, it was probably secretly for some gay shit.
That is historically true, yeah.
Yeah. Nailed it. I go up for a high five.
He, though has undoubtedly encountered this with you before, still seems caught off guard, and raises a hand slowly, if stilted, for a high five. And James is like at least 1.5 feet taller than you.
I enthusiastically take it. Bam. High five. Nice.
Yep, you're doing fine. Well, listen. How are you feeling? You get any strange senses? Anything?
I mean, there's some weird smells in this flea market, and
That is true.
I mean, half these people could be terrible undead zombies. Just looking in the eyes, but...
Maybe socially, sure. Here, take a look over there. And he points over to a stall with like an array of kind of handmade jewelry and such. Right there. and he points to one very specific section where like little hanging necklaces are, and one drops off and falls below the tiny curtain over the table the person's using as their stall. He says, "Gravity is a funny thing. Keep your eye out. Try to guess where the next one will be."
Did you make that fall?
Nope. But something did.
Fuck, what?
That's what we're trying to get through. Come on, June. Use your eyes, not me.
Would that be an investigative mystery?
Yeah, absolutely. And describe to me what you're doing to instigate it.
Sure. I think I'm just gonna head on a swivel, slowly rotate around the room, and maybe I have some runes in my coat pocket, and I'm just gonna be fingering them and trying to feel the source that this mischievous magic is coming from.
Alrighty, go for it.
Ooh, hell yeah! That's a 10, baby!
Alright, on a 10, hold 2. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do?
I'm gonna say, what sort of creature is it, and where did it go? That seems like the two that would impress James the most.
Alright, what sort of creature is it? This creature, as you know, there are very few creatures that are telekinetic. But most of them, if not all, are extremely difficult for the average person to see on any given day. As this thing is pilfering tiny objects and not seeming to leave a whole lot of moving parts, it must be a small sort of gremlin-esque creature. Some sort of tiny, little goblin thing. So you know that it's some sort of goblin gremlin-esque thing, but you can't quite see it yet. And what was the other question?
Where did it go?
Where did it go? Excellent. You can, as you kind of get your eye on things and see where the first part dropped off, and then where the next thing goes, you see that it grabs a tiny little doll, and then it goes after a pocket hanky, that sort of thing, where you can blow your nose in it, and things like that. And you get a read that it has a little pattern. It's grabbing things for young people. And as you do it, you can see where did it go. It's gone deeper into the community center, and you have a guess that through the window you can see a little toy maker's station. It's either going to head there or one of the places that makes little treats.
I'll tell James. Shit, it's some sort of gremlin-y, goblin-y thing, right?
Yeah, that would be pretty accurate. One of the little grumpkins that goes bump in the night. Get out here in the bright daylight. How funny is that? And he's looking around as calm and casual as can be. Well, I think I should actually be going and getting on out of here now. But I just have a little favor that I'd like to ask you before we continue on with our business. I want to talk to someone. I was hoping you could do me the small favor of getting into contact with him, for me, so I can have a tiny conversation. His name is Jude Keaton. I don't need him for nothing big. Just need to talk to him for a couple minutes, that's all.
So you want June to find Jude?
Yep. And he pulls out his pocket watch, and he motions towards where you saw the little goblin thing go, and he says, "I'd say you got about 20 minutes till you miss the next bus." And he starts walking away casually with a stick of cotton candy in hand.
All right, James. Good lesson. Well, I'm a fixer, so I'm good at finding people and things, I think.
All right. Could you please read the fixer move for me?
Sure. Oh, maybe this won't help. If you need to buy something, sell something, or hire someone, roll plus charm. So I'm good at like black markety shit.
Mhm.
I guess I could head to my home ground though and ask around if anyone has seen Jude.
Yeah, sure. For what it's worth, he like motioned inward towards the community center.
Oh, I think the kid might be here.
That's what he said.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. I'll walk around and ask around.
Okay. What? How are you going about this?
Let's see. Can magic help me with this? I don't think so. Is there like a, I don't know, like a help desk or something?
I think there's like a table that's been set up. It's not like an actual official help desk game.
I'll head over to the table and I'm going to say that I lost my little brother.
Okay. And what do you? Yeah, go ahead and roll investigate a mystery.
Oh, that's not great. Oh boy. I got a 5.
On a 5. Okay. Then I get to take a hard move against you. As you are talking to this person, they mentioned that like Jude was kidnapped or has gone missing lately, and that's not cool of you to be making a joke about. And the hard move I'm going to take on you is that as you are having this discussion and the people are kind of like giving you a hard time about this, you know, the little runes you had in your pocket make their way out. You can feel a little tug on your, I assume you wear pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're gone.
God damn it. Yeah, I'm real sorry about this. It was for a YouTube show, and I just like book it out of there.
All right. Do you stay, you like book it out of the room, or do you like you leave the center?
I'll leave that room. I'll like try and circle around the back.
Alrighty.
Do I know what this kid looks like?
Yeah, he's like kind of a lanky, bespectacled, you know, classic teenager type.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep circling around, trying to spot him, or like anyone suspicious. If there's any people who have like a kidnappy vibe.
Okay. This sounds like a really bad situation.
All right, let's try and do that. I can work with that. There we go. Read a bad situation is going to be a 9.
On a 7 to 9, hold 1. What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims? If you act on the answers, you get +1 ongoing while the information is relevant.
I'm assuming Jude is a victim, so I'll say what is the best way to help the victims?
The best way to protect the victims, specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. So based on the information you have at hand, James is of the impression that the lead to find Jude is here. You know that there is a creature about that is engaging in some sort of like theft of specific objects, and they seem to be geared towards kids, which may be younger than Jude is, but monsters don't typically have a great sense for that sort of thing. What's the best way to protect the victims is to follow this creature.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look for Schmeagol then. I am going to. Can I locate an object with magic? Is that a thing I can do? I can observe a place or time, banish or bar a place, damage, heal, cure disease. I don't think so.
You could do something like beyond human limitations to like advance your hearing and maybe pick up on goblin sounds. You could.
Yeah, I'll try and do something with tracking. I'm going to try and increase my vision to like see its footprints or something like that.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, just as a reminder, as someone who casts magic, magic is visible to the naked eye.
Yeah.
So how do you go about this?
I am going to try and find like an empty stall, like someone who's on a lunch break or maybe in the bathroom.
Sure.
And I'm going to bend down like I'm tying my shoe, and then just slide under the table, like under the tablecloth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to reach into my jacket and take out a jar that has some spiders in it.
Terrible.
And yeah, I know. Great. This is like the one spell I didn't write notes for how to cast it.
It's all right.
Yeah,
let's vibe.
I'm gonna eat a spider and try and use magic to increase my vision. That is a 6 plus 2 is an 8.
Okay. Choose a glitch. The effect is weakened. The effect is of short duration. You take 1 harm, ignore armor. The magic draws immediate, unwelcome attention and has a problematic side effect.
We'll do problematic side effect. I think if I am increasing my vision, maybe it's like real uncomfortable, and like daylight is kind of hurting my eyes.
I like that. I would say that if you enter into like, proper daylight, I think right now the fluorescents are uncomfortable but not terrible. If you enter into proper daylight, you'll have like a +1 ongoing until this effect is over. Or not a +1, a -1 ongoing as you are. Yeah, depending on the thing, of course. If it doesn't involve vision, then it doesn't matter. But for now, your eyes become hypersensitive as they filter over with a little bit of black, a little bit of white, and then come back into normal. And you can see.
That works for me. So do I see any footprints or anything like that? Do I have like predator vision?
Absolutely. You can see like tiny bits of loose scale here and there. You can see tiny bits of claw marks. You can even see it on people's clothes. Like this thing is able to like hop onto people and they don't notice. They just keep going about their day. There's something about it being so densely populated an area that any tiny little touch here and there isn't that noticeable to someone. They just kind of brush it off. And what do you do?
I'm just going to start trying to follow the tracks.
Alrighty, this sounds like investigative mystery. This is, hunting stuff down.
All right, let's roll to follow these goblin tracks. That is going to be a 7.
Alrighty. I mean, I feel like the answer is obvious, but you hold 1. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What is it going to do?
Where did it go? Yeah.
Where did it go? You can now see that it's forming a sort of path as it's jumping from spot to spot to grab little trinkets here and there that it is grabbing. It started off with the smallest, least noticeable stuff, and it's getting larger and larger objects. The most recent thing it has grabbed is curiously a blanket, and it seems to be like it's wherever it is right now. Its end destination is probably either going to be like this one stall that has like big fucking like care stuff, like large teddy bears or pillows and things, like soft plushy kind of things. And if it doesn't go there, it seems like it might try to escape into a secluded area, like downstairs in the basement.
I'm gonna head towards the basement. I'm gonna assume that it's heading down that way, and I want to try and get ahead of it.
Alrighty, so you're gonna leave like a little trap.
Yeah, it says I can bar or banish a creature. Can I try and like leave a circle on the ground, a la like the Winchester brothers, and try and trap it in the circle?
That's actually a different spell. It's called Trap a Specific Person, Minion, or Monster.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. Once it becomes in view or within close range, that is certainly something you can do. I think as long as it's not visible to you or available to you right now, I think that's more difficult.
Okay.
But if it meets you in the basement, you absolutely can do that.
Cool. I will wait for it down there then. Feeling confident. What could go wrong?
That is a good question. As you go down to the basement, the clear direction that it was going is a boiler room. You can see that there's plenty of old, unfixed piping sitting down there that people didn't take care of. You can see that the walls still have exposed brick and the floor is concrete and unfinished. You see that small bits of steam escape the large set of boilers across the room. This supplies hot water and heating to the majority of the building, and the building is rather large. It's pretty empty down here. No one's actually trying to do anything, and if anything, people are being kept out. It's only through a large, group not paying attention to each other that you're even able to get down here in the first place. And just sitting down there, you are alone. You can hear the talking of people above trying to make deals. You can hear some small music above, but otherwise it's fairly empty. What do you do?
Are there any chairs?
There are not.
I'm gonna lean against the wall then and light up a cigarette while I wait.
Alrighty. The smoke makes a bit of a haze and blends with the steam occasionally puffing out of the pipes. And because you're listening to it, and because your senses are heightened, you hear a slight scraping of the door above. You hear a step creak, and then another, but it's much closer. It wasn't 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, it was 1 to 4 to 9. Little leaps in place, and you hear light skittering on the ground. It's dark in here, and the lights begin to shake. The camera cuts to inside your pocket as we see presumably a phone or a pager or something. And it buzzes for a moment and blinks out. No longer working. What do you do?
I'm going to ready some magic.
Absolutely.
I take out a handle of whiskey and I start readying my fingers like Indiana Jones when he's about to grab the idol.
Brilliant. As you wait for the monster to approach, unclear if it's coming for you or not, you hear little skates. You hear the sniffing around you as it's taking in the air, your scent, the whiskey. You can feel yourself getting a little tense. You can see the light outside begin to dim, as if blocked by a car. There's one window in here. If you're waiting down there and it's come down the door, the thing between you and escape is it. As it approaches closer from the shadows, you hear the scraping of claws. It's small, it's light, might be manageable. You see a little stretch of skin as it comes closer, a little bit of green membrane. You see little mud-like spots on the ground as it leaves some kind of tracks. Your magic eyes tune in a little further, and you hear and you see little scrapes, teeth dragging along the ground like a long walrus tusk. You hear a whip-like lash, and you feel a tiny bit of pain in your foot. What do you do?
I'm going to try and cast my spell.
Go for it.
All right. That's going to be a 9.
All right, choose a glitch. The effect is weakened. The effect is of short duration. You take 1 harm, ignore armor. The magic draws immediate, unwelcome attention, or it has a problematic side effect.
I think maybe short duration.
Okay. What does the spell itself look like?
I take a swig of the whiskey, and then, like the WWE superstar that is all of the craze right now, Triple H, I spew it out of my mouth in like a spray,
Mm-hmm.
and I say the words "Wej El Ja."
As you shout, the whiskey itself hardens like a resin around a creature now visible under a strange lens of magic. It's a strange mix between a frog and a bat and a walrus. It has long tusks. It has a strange stingray-like tail with a bone spine hooked and barbed on the end. You see that its forelegs are bat-like, like a wyvern, and its hind legs are high and haunched, like a frog. And the creature snarls at you through a flat nose and gritted teeth. And its stinger lashes forward again and again. It is physically stuck in its spot, but that doesn't mean it can't do anything. And it blinks and squeals, waiting for something to happen. It spits across the ground, displaying a tiny puddle. An excessive amount of water that seems unnatural for this creature to be able to have within its body spills onto the ground. What do you do?
You are an ugly motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't speak fucko. You're gonna have to try a little bit harder to communicate there, my friend.
You feel a sharp sting in your foot once again. You take one harm. Poison.
Fucking stop that.
What do you do?
I mark a harm is what I do, and then I'm going to try and talk to it. I can cast a spell to translate.
Yep, communicate with something you do not share a language with.
Yep. So I'm gonna roll to do that if that's cool.
Sure. As you are preparing your magic, you can see in the water that it is spewed out on the ground, tiny little shapes of shadows convene until it forms a little ball. And then the ball opens like a tiny human eye. It blinks. It blinks. And you hear in your head, something wicked this way comes. And we will resolve your magic when we come back. The camera cuts to a classic MMORPG, Thrall of Nordoom. Polygonal blasts of energy fire off at enemy players while fantastical sword slashes populate the screen. We see a message pop up on the chat log from Ko the Mighty. It says, Mithril Fist, what are you doing over there? We're getting our asses beat.
I told you, man, this keyboard is like 10,000 years old. It gets stuck sometimes. I'm trying.
Very nice. And what does your character excel at in Thrall of Nordoom?
I think Beck's character is like a classic knightly figure with, like long flowing hair and a big old anime sword.
Very nice. And when the camera pans around, what do we actually see?
Beck Tui is a woman in her mid-20s. She's thin but fairly muscular. Her hair is pulled back into a ponytail. She's barefaced and just kind of hanging out in jeans and a hoodie.
Alrighty. We see in the middle of this guild match between the Cloak of Embers and the Slender Hand, the enemy is bombarding you with blasts of fire and rain of arrows. You're forced to pull back to an old fortress, where the old gray bricks shield you slightly as you lick your wounds. Everyone, in the midst of trying to recover, is trying to discuss a battle plan. And at that moment, you get the text, don't forget, we've got an early class today at 8:01 a.m. What do you do? Your guild is in danger, but you've got class soon.
What time is it now?
It is like 7:40.
How long does it take to get to class?
To get there exactly on time, you need to leave within the next few minutes.
Okay. I think that Beck tells her friends that she has to go soon, and then just charges the enemy guild, spamming a bunch of AoE attacks, and letting her character die, but while also doing a bunch of damage.
Very nice. In this fit of self-sacrifice, your guild takes that as a moment to successfully flee and get to a place where they would have more time to recharge, restore their mana, and fight back more effectively. And as they say, oh shit, well, see you later, in no dramatic tone because it's a video game, they let you go. And you make your way to where your class is, which is not, I want to repeat, this is not the YMCA. This is a classic open gym with a number of different facilities, like a pool, a basketball court, and the like. Do you do anything on your way there?
Not really. I think this looks normal enough.
Already?
I think Beck, like every once in a while, maybe at like a stoplight, will like jog in place and it's like getting pumped.
Very nice. You look peppy and excited, and you go into this gym. We hear the classic "Ha! Kia!" in the background as we enter into a adults karate class, where a number of middle-aged and youths are practicing Shito Ryu karate, led by the Grand Master Chuck Hayes, who is of average sort of dad bod builds, with a mostly bald head and a thick mustache. And he is, at the moment, expressing the value of breath as he is continuing and teaching people to remember that when you strike, you must kia, as he breaks people down. As you arrive, he ushers out a lot of the stragglers from the very early morning sort of matinee-ish class that aren't supposed to be there, and it's most of the class. He hurries along any stragglers until there are only 5 people left. And when everyone leaves, he closes the door and locks it. How he has a key, no one knows. And he draws a curtain over the door window. Chairs are pulled up from the side in this sort of open blue mat, safe to fall zone. And everyone dons their robes with a parapeted castle tower adorning the back. Grandmaster Chuck Hayes gives you all a nod, puts a fist to his hand and bows. And he says, "Good to see you all. As you know, the rest of our members are doing the work in New Orleans at the moment. This leaves us woefully underprepared for the bad news I have for you today. Cell phone signals, walkie-talkies, and the like have been on the fritz in localized areas. Communication is breaking down. Last night, supposedly, a high school student in town never came home. I am not inclined to believe that this is an accident." What do you say?
All right, man. Way ahead of you. We're on the same wavelength. What's my special assignment? I'm ready.
He puts a hand out for you to calm down, but doesn't say anything. He says, "The most important thing first is to know what we're up against. Take in as much information as you can. If you need backup, get out of there first. Focus on personal safety first. If you have to resort to using magic, that's it. Remember, there will be no phone calls. There is a chance that frequency 121.3 will still be active on our walkie-talkie line. But we have been detecting a small amount of interference on that line that has me suspicious. The only words we get out of it are stay safe, make good decisions. And it's not any of ours." What do you say?
So stay safe, make good decisions.
Mm-hmm. That is, he explains that, and this is something you probably know from beforehand, that when magic is used, communication breaks down. Cell phones, things like that, just stop working as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the bulwark specifically uses a walkie-talkie frequency that seems to be immune to this problem occasionally. And the line that they have is 121.3. And recently, they've been getting a small amount of interference with someone saying words into the line, and the words they are getting are stay safe, make good decisions.
Can we recognize the voice at all?
It's fairly garbled. It took a little bit just to get that much out. We can't enhance, through walkie-talkies.
Okay, gotcha. Is it do you think it's genuinely in good faith? Is it threatening, kind of stay safe, make good decisions? Is it?
It sounds kind of like a parent telling their child, like I'm leaving home, don't destroy the house.
Huh.
That sort of one. Yeah. It is disconcerting that they're even on the line in the first place. We are hoping it is a benevolent force, or at the very least just someone making an accident, but who knows?
Yeah, it could be
That's
some
it.
kind of like magical malfunction or something.
Possibly. So yeah, first things first, we need to track down, supposedly, if there was something in the area, we need to track it down. We need to make sure that we can get our operatives on the hunt to make sure that we're keeping the rest of the population safe. How are you all feeling?
Dibs. I'm calling it up in the air. Dibs now.
Beck,
What's
do they call you like sister or like acolyte or something?
I think acolyte, as opposed to like sister, brother, kin, etc.
Sure. Acolyte, relax. Remember, this is a team effort. This isn't some showboating glory mission. I get that you're excited. It's okay to be excited. But remember, patience and discipline. If there's anything we're to be learning and practicing in the bulwark, it is patience and discipline. Any, motions with that?
Yes, Master Hayes. I'm full of patience and full of discipline, and I just want to share my patience and my discipline with the world as quickly as possible.
Grandmaster Chuck Hayes is kind of like the stern, silent, strong, silent type. But as you do this, you notice that there is still a little bit of like a fond smirk through his mustache. And he says, all right. The last known location of the missing person is the Spectra Cinemas. That's also where we can see vague reports of people experiencing cell phone outages, of lines going down. So I would hazard a guess that is your best place to start. If not there, and he motions to several other members that aren't Beck, keep an eye on our friends in Tupelo. And 3 of them nod and grab like duffel bags. What do you do?
Do I know about our friends in Tupelo?
As a warning, yeah.
Okay.
Like don't mess with them until you're absolutely ready, or if you by chance get something.
Okay. Then I'm gonna head to Spectra Cinema.
Okay. You bound full of energy, go straight there. He before everyone leaves, he goes over very, very basic self-defense and safety motions, and like if you are grappled, you leave like this. It's important to him that like he tests everyone to make sure they're absolutely ready, because as far as you know, none of the people in this room, save for Grandmaster Chuck Hayes, have dealt with a monster before. And you depart, and you make your way towards the Spectra Cinemas. It's, like I said before, rather quiet on in the early morning. No one's really trying to get there to see horror movies in the early part of the day. There was a lone clerk sitting at the table she's like making herself popcorn and hanging out. It doesn't expect anyone to be there, and honestly, she probably likes it that way. What do you do?
Okay. Hi!
She jumps.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to spook you none.
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is more people than I was thinking I was going to get today.
Oh, and I think Beck looks around and there's like 4 people in the lobby or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of, chill working the morning shift. I bet you guys get like slammed at night, huh?
Yeah. That's usually when you get people who are like drunk and stuff, and it's not great. Now it's just like the elderly and motions, and one of the old people's like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not working like a back-to-back, right? You weren't like your last night?
No, I was. And she like hangs her head, and she's like nursing a coffee.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah, retail is the worst. They do not care about you.
Ain't it the truth? So Do we know that he went missing here, or this was just the last place that he was headed?
This is the last place the parents knew where he was going.
Okay. Did you hear about that, like, missing kid story? It's fucking wild, isn't it?
Yeah, and I kind of feel real bad. Like, he was in here last night. I didn't say anything to him because, I try to leave people alone. And
Oh, legit? That's fucking eerie, and they didn't give you today off?
nope. I just want to reiterate, retail does not care about you.
Preaching to the choir. We can swap. You can take on my illustrious lifestyle of rental video, and then I can work here and, eat popcorn on the fly.
Shit, do you work at Little Hollywood?
Yep.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry. Well, yeah, I mean, rough stuff hearing about that kid.
Yeah, for sure. What?
Did you need like tickets or something, or?
Oh, I'm waiting for somebody, so I'm gonna hold off till they get here. Because if they're late, we might as well just pick up a different show.
Yeah, sure. All right.
I mean, that poor guy. Like, I just wonder, like, what goes through like your mind before something like that happens. Like, did he look like he was like just hanging out, having a good time?
Go ahead and give me investigative mystery.
That's a 7.
All right, go ahead and hold 1. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
I think just what happened here.
All right, yeah, same sort of bit that I was telling Flint earlier. He had shown up. He was clearly trying to be in a vaguely public place that maybe had security cameras. She mentions that like he seemed kind of nervous walking in, but he wasn't trying to like be around friends or anything. And what you can gather is the same: is that he knew he was being followed by something, and tried to go to a place where he might be able to be safe without hurting anyone he knows.
Okay.
And did a bad job.
Yeah. I'm gonna step outside and call my friend and see why they're so late. Hang tight.
All right. Well, I'll be here.
Beck is gonna go outside and then try to like think from Keaton's perspective and think like, okay, if the movie theater was a bust, where would I go next? Like, what's the next public place?
In the area?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like casual businesses about, but this is largely a residential area.
Mm-hmm. Is there like an alleyway or something I can duck into?
Sure. Yeah, I think you can hop around behind the movie theater and there's not a whole lot going on.
Okay. Beck is going to cast magic.
Okay.
But Beck is going to use one of their initiate moves, that old black magic, which says that when you use magic, you can ask a question from the investigative mystery move as your chosen effect.
I love that. That's great. Go for it.
So that's an 8.
An 8. All right. On a 7 to 9, it works imperfectly. Choose your effect and a glitch. Your effect, I assume, is going to investigate a mystery question, but your glitches are the effect is weakened, there's a short duration, you take 1 harm, ignore armor, the magic draws immediate unwelcome attention as a problematic side effect.
I'll take immediate unwelcome attention.
Perfect. That was the one I was hoping you'd take.
Yep. And then my question is just, where did it go? It being Keaton.
Keaton, okay. As you are, what does the magic itself look like?
I think Beck rummages around in this like very nice crossbody lunchbox that they have, and they've like opened a couple compartments that have a bunch of like weird odds and ends that's like seemingly junk or otherwise alchemical ingredients, and they pull out like a bottle of powder, and they shatter it on the ground. With the intended effect that like illuminated footsteps are supposed to appear briefly to let them know where Keaton went.
Absolutely. As you shatter the powder along the ground, You can see that, in fact, a set of footsteps do appear, and they're not the only thing. As you spread them along, you can see in like small, glowing, sort of video game-esque footpad steps is long, sprinting gates of some kind of Converse sneaker, maybe, alongside tiny scrapes that are in extremely long gates. And as you start making your way towards them, you have to like follow them a little bit around the theater, because from the back emergency exit, you have to go around to get to the road. And as you do so, you pass by a fuse box, which you hear a small spark. Your instincts kick in and you dive to the side, and it blows. There is a great cloud of smoke around you, as you can hear the straight electrical ting, and you on the ground fall beside a puddle of seemingly water. And out of it, a tiny little shadow glows into a little eye. It opens, and you hear something wicked this way comes. And then there's a thud on the fire exit door. As you hear, it sounds like someone slammed hard against the inside, and you can see that a lot of the neon along the cinemas has started to spark out. What do you do?
So the fire exit door back to the movie theater?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're still there.
Okay.
Yeah, and you hear this like loud thud against the door as the power box blows.
Okay, and the thud sounds like something on the other side of the door.
Try to get out, and the door is locked.
Okay.
Flint, from the inside, you hear the fuse box blow.
Oh, hell.
Both of you are now in this scene. Either one of you may take action.
Beck is going to take the nunchucks that she has hanging around her neck and have them at the ready, and then is going to try to open the door?
The fire exit doors, the Spectra Cinemas crash again as you kick and kick. You got a 7 on your act under pressure, Beck?
Yes.
All right. On a 7 to 9, the Keeper is going to give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. And I'm going to choose price to pay. This is going to fucking hurt. These are locked metal doors. They're a little bit worse for wear, so it's enough for you to crack them through. But I'm going to say that you take a harm, as you can feel your shin splint a little bit from the force of kicking a metal door. And they're forced open, and you see Flint on the other side, having just fallen to the ground a second ago from slamming into the door.
Oh, holy shit. Old man O'Hare? What the fuck are you doing?
Whoa, a bona fide badass.
Sorry.
I want to sit in that for a second. Second's over. What's going on?
So... bad shit. Kid missing. Lizard-like monster took it.
There it is.
No one's gonna believe me. I'ma deal with this.
No, Flint. I believe you. Let's go fuck him up.
Oh, wait. Shit? What?
No time to explain. It's hero time.
Alright, I'll follow the badass.